Look at that smile. That's a happy guy. Tito, obvious question, baby. How do you feel?
I feel like about 100 million. I feel like a new man, you know. This camp's been really, really special. It's, God, it's supposed to be the bad boy. Bad boy's supposed to have tears. I worked so hard for this camp, and when I had my back against the wall, coming off of all my injuries that I had and no longer have those injuries, able to push myself in the gym every single time. You know, Mike Giovanni, my strength conditioning guy, pushed me to the limit, you know, 5 to 6 days a week. Jason Perillo, my boxing trainer, 6 days a week we worked, and he had me in my head just mental into going, Tito, no one could stop you. None of these guys could even hang with you. Ricardo Abreu, my sparring partner, one of my main sparring partners, working my jiu-jitsu with me, and I did really well for not wrestling a day, my whole camp. I didn't wrestle one day. I went in and I want to stand on my feet and I want to submit him. I want to do what John Jones couldn't do and show that I'm still a dominant force in his light heavyweight division. Being injury-free, just turned 36, having a positive head on my shoulders, and the positive reinforcement around me with my trainers, my camp. And I'm a dangerous force in that light heavyweight division. And this is how much my career means to me. You know, Dana told me that my back is against the wall and I fight the best when my back against the wall. And yes, my back was pressed against the cage as hard as possible. And I had to win. You know, I got to thank Dana for pushing me, for making me take this fight. Lorenzo Fertitta for giving me the awesome opportunity to fight in this main stage of UFC. And, I want to thank all my fans who supported me to get me through this. Every day on Twitter, they follow me at Tito Ortiz of saying, Tito, you can do this. Tito, you can do this. Kick this guy's ass. You can do it. And, there's all those haters. And Mike Giovanni, my trainer partner, he's like, we got to shut some people up. And we got to shut all those people up. So all those people at home, the people who said I was going to win, look over their shoulders and go, I told you so.
Tito, talk about emotionally, as soon as you choked him out, right after that fight. I mean, what was going through your mind? The relief must have been incredible.
It was like a dream. I mentally focused and prepared for this prior. Other people talk about a lot of visualization prior, and I visualized it. I visualized everything. Not a submission. I visualized knocking him out. But I know working with Ricardo Abreu, my jiu-jitsu instructor, we worked on that guillotine arm and guillotine a lot. Being strong has a lot to do with it, and not having the injuries. People can understand you're coming off a 2-level fusion in your lower back and a fused neck. Athletes don't normally come back after this. And I came back, I prevailed. Thanks to Dr. William Smith out here in Las Vegas who did the surgeries. I'm very, very thankful because I got to this camp injury-free and having my hand raised, I did the Ultimate Fighter on Thursday with Michael Bisping. And all the kids after go, Tito, man, can you do the Gravedigger? Can you do the Gravedigger? And they begged and begged and pleaded and begged. I mean, for like 5 minutes, I said, no, guys, I can't do it. I got to wait until Saturday night because I'm going to do it on Saturday night. Just wait and watch, and you'll see me do it. And as soon as I choked him out, that's all I thought in my head was that memory that I said that, and I did it. And I haven't done that in so long, coming off of 5 years of not winning. But people got to understand the injuries. Injuries have always been my downfall. But now that I have no injuries, mentally focused, physically strong, just a positive reinforcement I have in my training camp around me, I'm very, very thankful.
With Dana very plainly saying that if you lost, you're out, how nervous were you going into this fight?
There was no nerves at all. I've been doing this shit for 14 years. I can't let the nervousness get to me ever. Okay, I lie. I'll tell you the truth. I was a little bit nervous before, but I threw up probably about 1 minute before I walked out. And I think the police kind of looked at me going, is he okay? But I do that before all my fights, and I try to hold it down. Jason Perillo's like, Tito, hold your emotions, hold your emotions. And I'm such an emotional guy, really, really emotional, every little thing I do. And I couldn't hold on anymore. And I was like, blah. But I felt better. Washed my mouth off, and then boom, the music started, and I started walking. And people can understand, I mean, this whole last year, since July 1st of last year, I've been sober. I haven't drank alcohol. I don't go out with my friends. Once in a while I may go to a club with my friends, but I don't drink. And walking that song, I'm not afraid. It's about being sober, and I've took it to my heart for the whole year to dedicate myself to my job, to prove a lot of people wrong. Dana, I'm sorry that I didn't lose for you. So they're gonna have to still keep paying me. But I'm deserved of it, I've laid the ground and I've laid paved the way for a lot of these fighters where they are today. And I played a big part of this UFC where it is today. I taken nothing away from Lorenzo and Dana for working as hard as they do, for giving us fighters the opportunity to fight on the main stage that we do. but I've sacrificed a lot, and I've raised the bar hugely for a lot of fighters.
Well, when you got this fight, was it a specific one-fight deal for this, or where do you go after this in terms of continuing on with the UFC?
Well, this was like this one fight. I win this fight, I get my contract back, no questions asked. And doing the dominated fashion as I did, dominating him that quick and almost knocking him out and submitting him. I think I did a dominating fashion. What was it, 136, I think, in the first round. I'm a force to be reckoned with. I'm healthy. I feel good. I feel strong. I'm in great shape. You know, Mike Giovanni, who pushed me through my camp, you know, we're doing it with a gas mask, which was just ridiculous, the most claustrophobic feeling you could ever feel. That and one of my other friends, Alex, at Lunar Health and Wellness out of Costa Mesa, there's a CVAC machine that brings me an altitude of 24,000 feet, and it reproduces more red blood cells because for the first time in 11 years, I didn't go to Big Bear. And that helped out a lot, too, for my recovery from my body.
You talked about being one of the guys from the beginning. How does it make you feel that all of us were so ready to, you know, ask you about your legacy and being your last fight, and you are shocking everyone?
I kind of blocked it out. You know, I answered the questions just on memory. I do it very well. I've been doing this shit for 14 years, and I know what you guys want to hear and how you guys want to hear it. But mentally, my own self, I knew what I needed to do, and that's to shut a lot of people up and make your guys' job a lot better now. A lot more positive now. Now you guys want to think about Tito Ortiz retiring, because I wasn't ready to retire. You know, maybe God was on my shoulders. Maybe God just sent an angel down for me to prevail. And I did prevail.
Why weren't you ready to retire? You made a lot of money, and you've been doing this for a long time.
I'm 36. I just turned 36 years old. I want another chance of winning a world title again. I've gone through some major surgeries. I love fighting. People gotta understand, this is. There's nothing like walking out instead of 15,000 people screaming your name and having that positive reinforcement. You understand, I was a young punk kid on the streets, living in motels, cars, people's garages, who never was supposed to achieve anything in life. And I'm living the American dream now, and I'm going to prevail, and I'm going to show everybody that you set your dreams high and you can try to achieve those goals. You can achieve anything in this world. Look at Obama, first black president. He didn't think one day, oh, wow, maybe I could be a president. No, he knew he was going to be a president. He became that. I knew I was going to be a world champion. I knew I was going to be successful and a great businessman. And I keep achieving to do those goals because I want to give my children, you know, the mental, you know, thoughts of knowing that their father was great in the sport. You know, Ali has boxing. You know, WWE had Hulk Hogan, and UFC has Tito Ortiz.
You said you were the last, one of the last of the Mohicans, and in the audience tonight, Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell. What does it mean to you that those guys who just retired saw you victorious tonight?
Hopefully, you know, they felt happy about it. You know, I know Randy does. Hopefully Chuck does, you know, because I felt really heart shucking when he got knocked out. You know, the first thing you can ask Dana, I text Dana saying, is Chuck okay? At the end of the day, you know, this is business. Trying to sell a fight is cool, but me and Chuck were friends at one point. They did great at their age. Like I said, I'm only 36. I still got a bright future, I think. You know, I got a couple years in me. I want to do a couple more years of fighting, you know, at least 3 more fights. Guaranteed now, so. I'm happy, man. It's just it's a big dream right now. It's like a dream I don't want to wake up. This is like something that, you know, I'm living where I've always wanted to live, and that's being on the top.
I asked you at the press conference about the betting odds, and you said they don't mean anything.
Betting doesn't mean shit. I tell you this, man. It doesn't mean anything at all, and I hope there's a lot of people who put money on me because I hope they made a lot of money off me. Me being a 4-to-1 underdog, those guys don't know what they're talking about. Like I say, it all goes back to my surgeon, Dr. William Smith. People don't understand how much pain I've gone through over the last 7 years, and I fought with it, and I fought with it, and I did it, because I was so afraid to get surgery. To someone to go into your spine and fuse your bones in your back, that's a scary, scary thing. I mean, there was times after my back surgery that I got out of bed, 2 months after, and I'd come out just tears in my eyes going, this pain, it's just ridiculous what I do to myself. 3 months it was like that, then about 3.5 months, all of a sudden it just started turning. Week after week, it got better and better and better. I was wrestling, I was running, I was like, holy shit. I'm doing good. And any surgeon ever knows if you can get out of your rehab with not having problems, you know that there's a great surgeon that did the surgery.
Tito, how satisfying is it? I know you got nothing to prove. You're 36 years old, but in one round, you demonstrated what a complete fighter you are. You know, your power, your jiu-jitsu, a little wrestling, the guillotine. And that got us satisfied.
Really satisfied. You know, it just goes all the hard work I put into it. Dedication. You know, you gotta understand. There was about 7 weeks ago. I trained 9 weeks for this camp. In the first 3 weeks, I was training 2 days a week. There was a lot of personal stuff that was going on at home that was just negative, and I didn't want to get up and go to camp. I was oh, all right, let's go train today. And I didn't have that emotion. I didn't have that drive. But then all of a sudden, it was like, it's kind of weird because I'm very selfish. When it comes to training, it's about training and that's it. I can't have the other emotion stuff going around me where just people are in my ear. I can't handle that. I could just handle just positive reinforcement of knowing that I'm one of the best fighters in the world. And once I concentrated on that, for 8 weeks I did it. You know, me and Jenna haven't talked that much over the last 7 weeks. Just because of this, I've been really focused immensely just on my fight stuff. That was it, and it was hard. It was really hard, but just every day I'd go home. You know, I'd kiss my kids, you know, put them to bed, go to my camp, come back home, go to sleep, wake up, do it again. And I was doing this 6 days a week, and it was sacrificed. I sacrificed, you know, my family for my career, and I love fighting, man.
In the on-again, off-again saga between Tito and Dana, you know, you thank him at the end of the fight. Where do we start? Are you happy with the way he's been pushing you?
I could be bummed about it, but, you know, he said it best. You know, when I'm pushed against the wall, I fight my best. And I thank him for pushing me and for motivating me to be better than I truly need to be at the time. I knew I was that great, but I just need a little positive reinforcement, and hopefully, you know, there'll never be no bad words about Dana. I promise to every one of you guys, and you could mark this on calendar or whatever you want, I'll never say another bad word about Dana. I made mistakes because I had a lot of people in my ear would tell me what I should need and what I should expect, and those people are just bullshit dirt bags I just pushed away from me. And I need to focus on UFC, Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta, who's given me this opportunity to be a great fighter, a great champion, and, you know, an icon of the sport.
So who's the next kid that saw you fighting when he was in high school is going to get in the octagon with you next?
Which kid?
I'm asking you.
Who's the next one?
I say they saw you fighting when they were in high school.
Well, I mean, you got to understand, I started this career, you know, I was my first fights was in the UFC. I never had an amateur career. You know, I fought in the UFC since day one. I know, at 22 years old. I'm only 36. You know, Randy Couture fought until he was 45. I ain't gonna be that old. No, I won't do that. I won't disrespect the sport. But I don't know. I mean, after tonight, I mean, he was a top 5 guy, and I dominated him. I don't think he even touched me. I don't know. I don't think he touched me. I don't even have a mark on me. And it was kind of funny because on Thursday before the press conference, I went and bought some shades. And I was thinking in my head, and I was like, I know I'm going to end up with a black eye after this fight because every freaking fight I've always had a black eye. I was like, all of a sudden it was over, and I was like, oh shit, I'm still pretty. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. So
We'll play matchmaker. Who would you like?
Forrest Griffin. Forrest or Shogun. Rashad. I want to fight the guys who are at the top now. You know, I want the guy fight the guys the names. I'm sick of giving guys names. I'm sick of doing that. You know, H.E.A.T came out, but yeah, he's a world champion now, and I could say that. You know, Rashad at the time, but he became a world champion. I mean, I fight the top tier guys all the time, so let's continue fighting the top tier guys. You know, Forrest would be awesome. A winner between Forrest and Shogun would be great. I just want to get in the mix. You know, I want to fight the top guys. Rashad would be awesome too. I know tonight I think I put a lot of fear in a lot of these light heavyweights' hearts going, oh shit, Tito Ortiz is back. And I am. I gotta understand, the injuries were such a downfall to me. It was just ripping me apart inside because I knew I was so much better. And it was just that little small gap that I was missing. It was the timing and little small things. Tonight, my timing was on. When I fought Hamill, my timing was off and I knew it. But I fought only after 6 months after my neck fused. Guys don't come back after that. I fought 6 months after and my timing was off. You know, I hit him with the head kick and I should have dropped the right hand. I never did. And in this fight, it was just little small points. You know, Bader threw in a couple of punches, and I was like, boom, boom, hands up, bing, bing. And then he came on the inside, left hook, boom, hit him with the right hook, and he dropped. I was like, ooh, it's on.
Is that part of what you were burying in the octagon after the fight, all your injuries, all the crap that you've been going through?
No.
Besides Bader?
You know, it was a little bit of both. You know, like I said, I did the Ultimate Fighter on Thursday, and I talked to the guys, and they begged me to do it in the octagon in the Ultimate Fighter, and I said, no, I'm going to wait until I win, and I'll do it then. That, and it's just a rebirth of the bad boy, man. I've gone through a lot of negative stuff through my life. You know, just one of those things to show that I'm still on top and I'm not going anywhere.